Welcome to Vancouver. One last time, the Toronto Raptors working out at the Fortius Sport and Health Center. Paul Jones and Sherman Hamilton. Sherm, it's been a great week in Vancouver, culminated with a win in the preseason game on to Sacramento. Let's kind of recap the whole Vancouver experience. First off, a terrific game last night in front of a really serious crowd.
Well, we should start by saying this city needs a team.
Oh.
There's no question about it. Vancouver can support it. The fans here were awesome, as evidenced in the game last night. But I will say this. They have the ability to really accommodate basketball. And when I say that, I mean, it's not just in-game. There's things around the city that would support the game of basketball here. The people here are basketball crazy. The environment, the attention they pay to it, I think it's top shelf. And I really think the Raptors felt it in the game. Dwayne Casey saw it. And I think everybody in the traveling group that came from Toronto, it was clear this city could support an NBA team.
Well, you know, Sherm, what I'd like to see done, and when I made the walk through Rogers Arena yesterday, it brought back a lot of memories of, you know, 15, 20 years ago when I was here working Grizzly games, the same routes, the same spots, the same media room. I'd love to see the NBA, because they have gone global and there were games all over Mexico City, China, you know, Europe. I'd love to see a regular season game in Vancouver where it's maybe the fourth game on a West Coast trip. Play it in Vancouver. It's a home game for Toronto. Now, I don't know anything about the budgeting and the financing and the gate. That's all above my pay grade. But from a logistical standpoint, as we saw last night, the city could sure handle it.
Well, it could. And I really think the fan support was unbelievable. And all week, you just hear people just bemoaning the fact that they want basketball back in this city. And some of the people that are talking about it were little kids when the Grizzlies were here. They've grown up now, and they still have that desire to have a franchise here. I think it's a great city. And I think really this facility really adds to it. I mean, the fact that everything is all encompassed into one spot, and from, you know, a junior team that's 10 years old to a professional team like the Raptors, it can accommodate any level of skill. So this facility definitely aids in terms of some of the incentive to bring a franchise back here.
All right, Sherm, let's talk about the game and the stuff that went on the floor. Toronto did a terrific job in the fourth quarter. Their bench was amazing. 50 of the 99 points coming from the bench. Dwayne Casey, and we didn't even see Patrick Patterson. Dwayne Casey looking for combinations, trying to work things out. Now they're going to see Sacramento again. I know it's only preseason, but it's kind of like practice where you see the same guy again. So what's next for Toronto?
I think it's a lot of the same. It's a lot of Dwayne Casey experimenting with lineups, you know, trying to implement some of the stuff that he's going to use in the regular season. And I also think, you know, the overall game preparation that you want these guys to start to adjust to, it gets a bit steeper every game that you play in the preseason. Having said that, you know, guys like DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry, you got to monitor their minutes, make sure they get the rest, make sure they're healthy for the regular season. But overall, you know, James Johnson, you know, Lou Williams, a guy who came in and did a great job in the fourth quarter for the Raptors, Gravis Vasquez, all these guys that are going to be, I think, played together and utilized quite a bit off the bench. Those guys, you want to get them a lot of reps together and try some different combinations, play some small lineups, some bigger lineups, and mix up some of the starters as well.
Okay, well, you know, the one thing you want to do, Sherm, is make sure, as you said, the guys get out healthy. Terrence Ross, a bit of an injury, did not go through practice today, and that's something that you kind of cringe at the preseason. The two-edged sword is you got to work out, you got to play together, but at the same time, you got to stay hurt, stay out of sick bay.
Well, you're right. You want to be as healthy as possible, and I really think, you know, for preseason, it's one of the necessary evils, right? You want the reps against other competition. Guys know the plays on your team. When you're practicing, they cheat the plays, they do all those things, which can help sharpen you, but you also want to look at a different jersey, an opposing team, and kind of get that feel like, hey, we're battling against another group. And the question is, can you get out of preseason healthy?
Yes.
That's the goal for every coach in the NBA. They want to make sure their roster is intact when the regular season starts. It's no different for the Raptors.
Sherm, you talked about taxes, the next necessary evil. It's a great thing when they work for you, but you hate paying them. We will talk to you from Sacramento. The Raptors on to play the Kings on Tuesday night from Sleep Train Arena. We'll talk to you from there.